Welcome to this three-part series on closing. Part 1 discusses the preamble to the close, that is, preparation, attitude, etc. Part 2 presents a variety of closes, and Part 3 discusses the pre-close. Asking for the order, or closing, is a normal conclusion to a business discussion. In fact, it's a fairly simple process. The request for an order, also known as a close, typically takes 10 to 20 seconds. Some salespeople prefer to use a pre-close followed up by a close, and this might take 1 to 3 minutes. However, this gives us a maximum of only 2 steps. See? Easy peasy. Precision is the key to a good close. For example, when a great actor acts, they elicit emotions, desires, tears, while a novice who utters the exact same phrase only generates disbelief and contempt. Thus, the salesperson must believe and embrace the sales process. The pre-close is not too complicated, but we will wait to explain it in our closing video lecture part 3. Now, there are a few basic steps to closing. However, there are also many options. Most salespeople tend to master and stick with only 2 or 3 options. And in our second and third video lectures on closing, we will present the myriad of options, and it's up to you to choose which option fits your style and demeanor. All of the options can be effective, that is, if used correctly. The biggest problem with closing is the mindset of the salesperson. Most novice salespeople, they fear the close. They're afraid of the rejection that is inherently associated with closing. People are going to say no if you ask. So, unfortunately for the novice salesperson, about 98% of the time, you got to ask for the order to make a sale. The good news is that the fear of rejection subsides with the appropriate training and a little sales experience. There are also a few other issues to address when discussing closing. As previously mentioned, the incorrect attitude can cause problems when closing. Besides the fear of rejection, one might not respect the customer enough. Maybe hurry the process. They need to go to their party. The second problem that arises is poor presentation skills. Excuse me. If you present poorly, then the customer will not fully understand the product or service. They will not be excited, and they will doubt the salesperson as well as the company's ability to deliver a desirable outcome. The third problem arises from poor habits and underdeveloped skills. It is why sales training is so important. For example, if the salesperson shows doubt, then the customer will doubt too. The close is a logical culmination of a problem-solving process. That is, if you executed the other steps in the sales process correctly, then the close follows seamlessly. However, the close must be assumptive. That is, there should be no doubts expressed by the salesperson via their words or actions. In addition, timing is key. The close must occur when the prospect is ready. Not too late, not too early. The best time to close is when the customer appears to be more interested than previously and expresses one or more buying signals. Now, please pause this video and answer the first question for this video lecture, which is, what usually occurs if a close is not assumptive? Buying signals are actions or words expressed by the customer that indicate that the customer's interest level has increased. A buying signal can occur at any point in the sales process, so a salesperson must always pay attention to the customer's mannerisms, actions, statements, questions, etc. in order to recognize a buying signal. There's 2 types of buying signals, voluntary and involuntary. Voluntary buying signals are questions or statements or actions that are very positive in nature and indicate the prospect wants to buy. For example, the prospect might ask, what colors are available? Or they state something like, wow, that looks good. An expression of certain facial movements or body language that are also buying signals, such as like a big smile, pulling out their credit card, performing the budget calculations. All of these indicate the customer is probably ready to buy. Now, there's also what we call involuntary or unconscious buying signals, which include mumblings that indicate agreement, such as, Or actions like placing one's hands on your chin. Involuntary signals are usually tougher to spot than voluntary signals, but the salesperson must always be on the lookout for them since they do indicate a sincere interest in buying. Now, please pause your video and answer the second question for this video lecture, which is, which of the following is not a buying signal? If the salesperson thinks the prospect showed a buying signal, but is not sure, then we recommend the salesperson use a trial close. A trial close is a question that asks for the prospect's opinion. Its purpose is to probe to find out where the prospect is in the decision process. It's also referred to as taking the prospect's temperature. The trial close is a question that asks for an opinion that does not force a buying decision, such as, do you prefer red or blue? Or, would you like delivery next week? Or does delivery next week fit in your schedule? Something like that. Okay. Trial close can be used throughout the sales process. Okay. And we use it to gauge the prospect's interest. If the reaction to a trial close is very positive, though, the salesperson must move expeditiously to the final close. All right, now pause your video and answer the third question for this video lecture, which is, what is a trial close? A close, or at least a trial close, should always be attempted when 1. A customer indicates significant interest in a product or service via mannerisms or statements. 2. Ask several questions indicating significant interest. Or 3. When a customer closely examines a product or service or the brochure or the contract. In addition, a close or trial close should also be attempted when 1. Immediately following the presentation of a significant benefit. Or 2. When a customer agrees with a major product or service benefit. Or 3. Immediately after successfully overcoming an important objection. Now we have finished part 1 of our closing video lectures. Please now answer the fourth question for this video, which is, when should a close be attempted? Thank you for watching.